doesn't do any of that or smokes or anything. So it is quite a high stressful environment, and it can get really, really hard sometimes. So that is why people turn to like drugs and alcohol and all sorts of things like that, and it is quite sad. Do you know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, there's other jobs that are quite stressful as well, but I'd say that the catering industry is so high powered, it's high fast, it's pressure, it needs to get things out very, very quickly, so you know, it can get very stressful for people. I'm racking my brain as to why he would... Oh, sorry, I read that one. YouTube Grandpa Kitchen is the channel name. Easy to find. Okay, Wild Dog, I'll have a little look. I'll try and remember it for sure. If you pop it in Discord, Wild Dog, if you're on there, and I can remind myself for later. I de-stress with video games, books, and movies. Yeah, exactly. Everyone has their own way of de-stressing. Maybe you would do work in the catering industry and you're like, no, I don't really get stressed. Maybe some people just, you know, they click with it, but some people really do suffer with it quite hard, you know, and it is quite sad, to be honest with you. I'm glad our favourite Chef John Reed is not high pressure kitchens anymore. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, and do you know what I mean? It was fun. Can be very, very stressful at times, but I guess where my passion really lies is, you know, teaching you guys about food and, you know, teaching you guys more about cooking and about healthier eating. So, you know, a bit of both, to be honest with you. I really do like teaching you guys and hearing about, like, you know, cooking my dishes and things like that and saying, Chef, I've done this, or Chef, I've cut out Coke, or Chef, I've stopped drinking soda. You know what I mean? And I feel amazing when I hear that, and to know that, you know, I've made kind of a difference to your lives. So, you know, maybe even if you're here and you're just like, do you know what, I just like watching cooking, regardless if I've, you know, made a difference or not. You know, I really appreciate everyone who, like, either lurks and follows and just watches and just enjoys, you know, cooking in general. Do you know what I mean? Eggplant, aubergine. Eggplant or aubergine. Same thing, my friend, but just a different reference. How are you doing, Resonator Games? How are things? Chef, my uncle's a billionaire. I've had food for some world-class chefs when eaten with him. Have you ever made food for a notable individual? When I was working for, like, Gordon Ramsay, I guess I did cook for quite a few different comedians and, like, footballers. And one person that did stand out, I did cook for Johnny Depp as well, which was a really, really good thing to do, and I really enjoyed it. So I guess that's my kind of limelight of what I've done more than anything. So yeah, no, it's been great. In what category on Discord shall I drop the link? Just pop it in. Just pop it in the advertisement if you want, or in general, wherever you feel kind of comfortable. Pop it in general if you really want to. I really don't mind. That's okay. What are some of your favourite preparations for zucchini, Chef? I guess for zucchini, oh god, you can do lots of things with these beautiful things. I like doing, to be fair with you, I like making ratatouille out of it, which is really great and it's really healthy for you. Also, garlic encrusted, which is not healthy, but deep fried zucchinis as well in tempura batter, which is very tasty. Also with the flowers, I don't know if you've ever used the flowers as well. I really wanted to get hold of some flowers, but I really can't get hold of any at the moment, and plus they're kind of coming out of season. So we used to use the flowers and we used to take the pollen off, and we used to make like a crab mixture with like what do we use? Creme fraiche, lime, lemon in there, some fresh crab mixed up, and then we used to stuff the flowers, and then we used to dip them in into a tempura, and then we used to deep fry them. Not healthy, but oh my goodness, they are probably like one of the best things you'll taste. Amazing. And amazing fresh fish and seafood. Love it. After a good stretch in rehab, I finally cut out the garlic powder. Fresh only from now on. Do you eat a lot of garlic powder then? But yeah, I mean, zucchinis are fantastic, or as you want to call them, courgettes. You can do all sorts of it. Even making like you could make a vegetable lasagna with them and use an eggplant as well. It's fantastic. You can do lots of things. You really can. I'm just trying to think of the things I've done in the past before as well with them. You know when you're to a point where you're like trying to think but you can't. But yeah, it's fantastic. So if you want me to think of any kind of other different ones, I can. Zucchini bread, that's a good one for sure. We used to spiral them as well and used to marinate them in lime juice and mint. And we used to serve them on like canapé, I think. I can't remember what it was, but that was quite nice as well. Very fresh and tasty. I love grilling it with some salt, pepper, and sprinkling some parmesan on it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong as well doing some straightforward food. You know, char grilling it on a char griller, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, some salt, maybe a bit of squeeze of lemon juice. Can't go wrong with that. You seriously can't. Fresh crab. Oh yeah, I love fresh crab. It's amazing. My mum makes amazing ratatouille. Yeah, ratatouille is not too complex to make. I mean, some people look at it and they're like, "Oh my god, ratatouille! I can't make that." And it's actually not too bad. It's not actually that difficult to actually make. So it's pretty straightforward. So right, what I said earlier on with them being fluffy. So these have already fluffed up, as you can see. So can you see like on the potato? I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is some like little fragments coming off. So it looks like they're like slightly fluffy. These are quite soft. Some of them are already breaking. So as you can see, like you gotta be kind of gentle with them. So I might have taken these a little bit far as I anticipated, but these are actually quite good because you want to take them to a point where they're really nice and soft, because then they'll crisp up afterwards and you get that nice coating on the outside. So I'm quite happy with these. So I've taken to a point literally to their limit.
I wonder how much of those cute little tomatoes you can get with 50 bits. I guess 6.
How many little cheeky little tomatoes can you get with 50 bits? I'd say, to be fair, this tub cost me £1. £1 for this entire tub of these little cherry tomatoes. They're not actually that expensive, so they're pretty cheap. And to get a good variety and lovely colours like these, they're so beautiful. Because I love these because they got like lots of different like shapes and sizes. You got odd different shapes, so they are actually really nice. I love these tomatoes; they're amazing. Right, I'm going to get these onto a tray as well. So let's grab another tray out for these potato tots. What is the silliest as seen on TV device that you've actually find useful? How do you mean, like, let me read that again. What is the silliest as seen on TV device that you've actually... I don't quite understand. How do you mean, silliest device? I don't quite follow that question, Resonator Games. Elaborate that for me and I'll answer it for you. I'm not too sure what you mean. Hell yeah. What you cooking, bro? We're cooking ourselves a little bit of cheeky, healthier steak and chips. So we've just boiled the steak chips off and just popping these onto the tray. I'm going to marinate them in some herbs and flavours, and we're going to bake them off very shortly. We're also going to do some flavoured roasted vegetables to go with it. We're also going to have ourselves some Cajun onion rings and some mixed aubergine rings, sorry, to go with it. Have a little bit of egg on there, and we're going to use some rump steak, which we're going to sear off as well to go with it. So that's what we got going on today. It's community weekend. Also, if you guys have got any like ideas that you want to see healthier versions for next weekend, please pop your ideas in chat. I'm more than happy to get them up on the straw poll, and you guys can start voting for it on the straw poll itself. I failed. Hi chef, any flour of cornstarch to help crisp them? I mean, you could use it if you really want to. I'm not going to use any kind of flour. As long as you got them on a decent heat, they will pretty much crisp up quite nicely. We're going to coat them with some flour, but I suppose you could do. I've seen people use like corn flour and stuff before, especially like making like carrot chips or something like that. But with potatoes, you shouldn't really have issues crisping them up just using normal potatoes. But I suppose you could. You know, it's all about playing around and testing things out more than anything. There's great ways to change things about. So it's just all having fun and give it a go. Do you know what I mean? But how are you doing anyway, Fatty? I hope you're doing well. It's great to have you here. Tomatoes are so aesthetic. Love them. Yeah, tomatoes are amazing. Do you know what I mean? I love all sorts of different types of varieties of tomatoes, from beef tomatoes to baby tomatoes to you know, you name it, it's amazing. You get lots of different varieties of flavors. Obviously, you get the main majority of the tomato flavor, but you get some great different sweetnesses and some sournesses, and you get, you know, great range and a great differentiation more than anything. It's really good. So you do boil them that much before frying or baking. Yeah, basically you boil them to a point where they're still holding together just about, but they're, you know, a little bit kind of falling apart a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So they've gone a little bit fluffy, if that's the terminology I use. So some of them are slightly a little bit broken, but not too much. So I've literally taken it to a point where, you know, they're still holding their shape, but they're pretty much soft. They're pretty much done. They don't need any longer in the water. So it literally is about 5 minutes boiling, give or take. To be honest with you, I'd say for the fries, I'd just give it a minute or two when boiling. Take it off. Because they do carry on softening up when you drain them off. So, you know, that is, just got to be careful with that, that's all. Radio. So, I like a slap chop or Jinzu knife. Or a George Foreman grill, etc. Yeah, they're definitely good pieces of equipment to use, especially for help like reducing fats and things. I mean, technically, you could squeeze right through one of them, though. Yes, yeah, pretty much. I mean, for example, look, this is how kind of soft they're. Like, I put a little bit of pressure on them, but nothing. But if I really want to crush them, look, it'll just pretty much break apart. So they're holding their shape, but like they are soft. I could quite easily eat them. They're cooked, but they're firm enough to like hold their shape. Does that make sense to you? So you just take them off to a point. I mean, there are many times where I've cooked chips and I've like overcooked them or undercooked them. It's just about practice more than anything. It really is. And understanding, like, with certain thicknesses take longer. Obviously, if they're thinner, they'll take less time. So you kind of get a feel for it, if that makes sense, when you're cooking them. So it's